Good afternoon. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining me on this live stream today. So, today is Friday, the 2nd of February 2024. And I thought today we would start looking at meal planning and meal prepping and really focusing on meals to help on the weight loss and wellness journey. If this is your first time here, then it's great to have you. Thank you for clicking on this video and joining me. And if you've been with me on other videos and you've watched me, then it's really, really good to have you back. So if you've not met me before, I am on a journey to recover my health, to improve my health and improve my life. I am following the Weight Watchers plan, and to date I've lost 115 pounds. So 8 stone, 3 pounds. On the plan, on the Weight Watchers plan. It's not been a quick journey. It's taken me 5 years to lose the weight, and my average is less than half a pound a week. So really not fast at all, but steady, lots of steady progress. I suffer with a number of health conditions: long-term chronic illness, arthritis, lupus SLE, diabetes, to name but a few. And I'm also post-menopausal. I've also lost all that weight or the bulk of it during menopause as well. So just in case anybody is thinking it's really hard to lose weight in menopause, it's tough. It's not easy. But it is possible. So yeah, be gentle, be kind with yourself, and most of all, be patient. And what I've learned, especially losing weight through menopause, is that it doesn't really matter what plan you follow, whether it's Weight Watchers or Slimming World or, a meal replacement diet. Weight loss can be gradual because of our hormones. And I'm not saying that as a doctor, a scientist, a nutritionist, a dietitian. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just sharing that from my own experience and from research that I've done and people I've worked with as well. It can be slow. It's not slow for everybody. It can be because of hormones. It's not so much about the plan, because as long as you're nourishing your body, which is what we're going to be talking about today, as long as you're nourishing your body, then you're putting good things in, and that can really help our bodies to get healthier, to repair. It can make us feel good. It can give us the energy that we need. But weight loss will happen in its own time. So so to date I've lost 115 pounds, been really, really steady through menopause and also with health conditions. And one of the things that has really, really helped me, and I wish somebody had told me this when I started my journey, because I am following the Weight Watchers plan, but nobody told me this, and I had to figure it out myself. The Weight Watchers plan is fantastic. It is a fantastic plan, and I really enjoy it for the flexibility that it gives, the scope that it provides as well. So it allows for, my cultural food, it allows for so many different things. I love the support that Weight Watchers provide. I think the studio workshops are standard, let's be honest, because you can go to Slimming World, you could go to a private weight loss club, and that format is standard. You can get that anywhere and that support anywhere. But I think where, in my opinion, Weight Watchers has excelled is with the virtuals and having virtuals 7 days a week, right throughout the day, from early morning till late in the evening, and also the range of things that they provide on the virtuals. So I think in that respect, Weight Watchers has excelled themselves and is above lots of other weight loss groups and companies. But the one thing that I think held me back on my journey, and I've been going on my journey now for 5 years, and excuse me, me ninja, excuse that. And I've also got the fish tank just behind me here. I should move along, shouldn't I, so you can see, you get a better view of the ninja. Bear with me. Let's move this way. There you go. There you go. That blocks out the there you go. That's better. That blocks out that ugly the ninja food processing. You've got a bit of a view of the fish tank. So sorry about that. So the one thing that I wish somebody had told me earlier in my journey is to focus in on really good nutrition. And personally, I think that's a trick that the Weight Watchers plan misses. The Weight Watchers plan gives you your daily points based on your height, your age, your weight, and your gender. They also give you some weeklies to make the plan sustainable and livable, and I think that's brilliant. But I wish that they would have more of a focus on guiding members around nutrition. And they do in one element. They do with, they encourage us around having protein and around fiber. But in my opinion, now that I've spent a lot of time doing research and I'm studying nutrition, it's nowhere near enough. It's deficient. In my opinion, it's deficient. And I wish there was a lot more support around nutrition, because, Weight Watchers says, as long as you've got your points, and you stay within that, you will lose weight. And that then allows, you could eat sausage sandwiches all day. As long as you stay within your points, you will lose weight. It's not going to make you very healthy. It's not going to make you healthy. And long term, it can have some health effects. So I wish that there was more information around nutrition so that, we could make informed choices. Hi, Jackie. Lovely to have you with me. So you say you're shocked at what you think has a lot of protein and doesn't. Yeah, absolutely. And we have to go on a journey. We have to go on a journey around the foods that's going to work for us and our bodies, rather than just thinking, these are my points, nothing's off the menu, and I can eat what I want, which is the Weight Watchers rhetoric. Nothing's off the menu, eat what you want, just stay within your budget. And I think there are times where that absolutely helps, especially if you're going on holiday or a wedding or a special occasion, or whether you just want a bit of comfort food. I think that works. But I think as an everyday practice, I personally would love to see more guidance around nutrition over and above, eat your protein, eat your fibre. Hi Rose, lovely to have you with me today. And would be looked yeah. So what WW has done, which I'm really pleased to see, is they've launched a program for people who are taking GLP-1 medications, and that is a topic that I want to explore and talk about, because I have some views about GLP medication from a personal experience, because I'm going to put my hand up. About 7 years ago, before I rejoined Weight Watchers, I was on GLP medication. I was on 2 types of medication. One was called Victoza, and then I switched to another one called Bigerion. And they're similar. They're not quite the same as the GLP. These were called GLP-2s. These ones are called GLP-1s, which is the semaglutide, the Ozempic, the Wegovy, those things. But it worked on a very similar way. It worked in a very similar way. And and I went on that for my diabetes, because there was all sorts of things going on in my body because of my health, and my diabetes was uncontrolled. It was serious. It was uncontrolled. So my diabetic consultant, put me on the GLP medications. But for me, it didn't work. And it was nothing to do with the medication. It was about me and what was going on with me at the time. So I have a viewpoint about the medication that I want to explore. But just to make it clear, I was on those medications before I rejoined Weight Watchers. So when I rejoined Weight Watchers in 2019, I'd come off those GLP medications a long time before that. And since I've been on my journey, the 115 pounds that I've lost, completely on the Weight Watchers plan, no medication. Well, I say no medication for weight loss, other than the medication that I already take to manage my health. So just wanted to put that out there, because I don't want anybody thinking that I've lost all this weight using weight loss medications, because I haven't. So I want to talk about GLP-1 medication at another time, and I also want to talk about weight loss surgeries at another time, because I know 5 people who've had, well, a minimum of 5 people, maybe 6 people who've had weight loss surgery, and it's just so interesting. My observances, but also in my day job and with my skill and knowledge, I'm supporting a couple of people who've had weight loss surgeries. So I want to talk about those, but that's for another time. Hi Kaz, great to have you with me. So you checked your food today and thought you'd be at 60 grams of protein, and you wasn't. Interesting. Yeah, we do need to make sure we're getting enough. And what I do like about the Weight Watchers plan for those who are on GLP medication, I really like that. And I wish that Weight Watchers would incorporate some of that into its standard plan. That would be a good start, because if you've not seen it, and it's in if you look at Weight Watchers advertising and marketing, like on Facebook and on social media, now they show you the GLP-1 program, and you have the rings that you have to close. And when you enter your height, your weight, your age, and your gender, the app works out for you how much protein, how much fiber, and how much water you need to intake each day. And there's no counting points. You don't track your points. You track your food, and the idea is to eat sufficient protein and fiber and drink enough water to close those rings. So you can look at the end of the day and you could see whether you've hit your protein, your fiber, or your water goals. And I really, really like that. I really like that, because it makes you think. Instead of focusing on your points, as in I need to eat so many points a day, it's switching the focus to the nutrition. Am I getting enough nutrition in? So I really like that. So hi Rose. So hi Kaz. So Kaz, you attended a GLP-1 group today, and the technique was so good. It really helped. And you're not on GLP-1. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Because when you're on GLP-1s, I'll just touch on it here briefly, seeing as we're talking about it. When you're on GLP-1s, that medication quietens the noise in your head. So you're not thinking about food, but it also impacts your hormones, because we're all hormonal, every single one of us. You don't have to be in menopause to be hormonal. We are a walking hot pot of hormones, every single one of us. And hormones impact our sleep, they impact our energy levels, they impact everything we do. So don't think that hormones are about menopause. It's not just about that. They are heightened, and they're at a different level during menopause or during pregnancy, when we're stressed, all of these things. But we are hormonal. We have hormone. So the GLP-1 medication impacts our hormones, and therefore it quietens the noise around food in our heads, but also sends those signals to our stomachs. So we feel less hungry. We don't feel as hungry. So so that's what the medications do. Your hunger levels go from here right down to here. It dissipates, really dissipates. It quietens. So because you're now eating less food, you have to make sure that the food that you're eating is good quality. You get the protein, you're getting the fiber, you're drinking the water. The fiber, because when we're not eating, we lose muscle mass. And if we haven't got muscle mass, we're losing the energy levels. Then you find that you can't walk, you can't lift things, you haven't got the energy or the strength to do everyday things. So you need to eat and focus in on the protein. You need to eat fiber to keep your digestive system healthy, to keep that gut health healthy. And you need the water to keep hydrated. So the Weight Watchers plan, focusing to support people with the GLP-1, I absolutely love that. I love that. So, Jackie and Kaz, so you've been going to those support groups, which is really, really good. You've been there since day one, Jackie. Oh, and you're supporting someone on it. Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, so it's really good, and I like that, and I wish that WW, and it's funny, I said this to somebody about, because me and this other lady, we're both following the Weight Watchers plan, but we realised, both of us realised that actually, because she's also big on nutrition, she also realises that there's this gap. And we both said, you know, we wish that Weight Watchers would guide more around nutrition. And then when the GLP app was launched, I was like, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I wish that they would incorporate more of that, the guidance into the standard plan and the diabetic plan, rather than here's your points, stay within your budget to lose weight. Yeah, it is a different journey. It absolutely is. It's a very different journey. But there are still elements of that I wish, you know, Weight Watchers would incorporate. And also, if you look at apps like MyFitnessPal, again, you've got those tools in there to help you to focus in on the protein and the fiber. What I love about MyFitnessPal, I'm not doing MyFitnessPal, by the way, so I don't want to confuse anybody. But what I love about MyFitnessPal is they help you to focus in on those macronutrients. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So, you know, I would love to see, and maybe that's something Weight Watchers is looking at, who knows? But I would love to see more focus around nutrition. And that's what nobody, when I restarted my journey, nobody told me about the nutrition. I was just told, here you go, here's your points, nothing's off the menu, just stay within your budget to lose weight. And I was like, okay. So yeah, you know, and I've had to learn along the way. I've had to learn. What have we got? Oh, right. How's you use MyFitnessPal? Yeah. So many people do, and lots of people double track. They will use the Weight Watchers app, but also use MyFitnessPal or other apps. The only thing I'd say is pick a horse and ride it. Yeah, pick a horse and ride it, because the Weight Watchers is points. MyFitnessPal is calories. And don't get yourself confused. I see people all the time, like on Facebook groups and social media, saying, I'm doing the Weight Watchers plan. My 23 points only equates to 900 calories on MyFitnessPal or on a calorie counter. And I think that's why I'm not losing weight. And they're confusing themselves, absolutely confusing themselves. So Weight Watchers do, and this is why I love the Weight Watchers plan, because they use calories as a baseline. They absolutely use calories as a baseline, but then they include more things. They include saturated fats, sugars, protein, and fiber. Okay, so they include those things. Whereas if you're counting calories, you're just counting calories. So, yeah, so, you know, it's easy to get lost and confused using different programs. So I always say, pick a horse and ride it. Yeah, pick a horse and ride it, and use a second app or a second method of tracking for information too. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I get that, Jackie. Weight Watchers is very simple, and it includes all of those, you know, the fats, the sugars, the protein. Yeah, and that's why I love it. I love it. Um, but I also love the macronutrients element within my fitness part, and I wish that WW would incorporate some of that, and maybe they will in the future, the same way that they're now focusing for the GLP-1 um, app users. They've incorporated the fiber and the protein and the water. I wish they would include at least some basic macronutrients, but make that option available for everybody. You know, yeah, that's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts. But when I started to focusing on the nutrition, it made a huge difference to me. Oh, Cass, so you use MyFitnessPal to track your carbs and your sugars, and you find that helpful? Yeah, as you don't, yeah, track the calories. Yeah, go with what works for you. But Jackie, I hear you. Yeah, it can be overwhelming. Yeah, it can be overwhelming. And that's why I say pick a horse and ride it. Yeah, pick a horse and ride it to see success. But yeah, find what works for you guys. So at a later date, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about, well, there's a few things I'm going to talk about in future lives. So yesterday I shared that I was raised in a cult. And I know some of you have said you want to hear more about that. You want to hear my experience about that. And I'm going to share that with you because, and don't get me wrong, please don't get me wrong, but having been raised right up until my mid-20s in a cult and knowing nothing else, and having come away from being in a cult and deconstructing and learning what made that religion a cult, I have some understanding of cult-like behavior. And I see and I recognize some cult-like behaviors in all the major slimming clubs, Weight Watchers, Slimming World, Noon. I see cult-like behaviors. Whether it's intended or not, don't know, but I see and I recognize some of those behaviors. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that in another video. Yeah. So I touched on that yesterday, and I'm going to talk about that in a future video. Now, don't go away. I don't want you going away and thinking, oh my God, Angela thinks Weight Watchers is a cult. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I see cult-like behaviors. I was also a part of a business community as well. And I also saw lots of cult-like behaviors. So, you know, I recognize some of them when I see them. So I'm going to talk about that at a later date. I'm also going to talk about GLP-1 medications and in a separate video or live stream. And I'm also going to talk about weight loss surgery as being an option based on the people that I know and I work with. So we're going to talk about that. So lots to talk about in future live sessions. Oh, Jackie. Yeah, so yeah, you're saying that, yeah, Weight Watchers need to diversify. I agree. And some of your family members might agree. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. But for today, guys, we're going to be looking at breakfast ideas because so Kaz, you're subscribed and you've got your bell ticked, but you don't get notification. Just double check your notification bell. There might be different options to select, so just double check that. I will check my end to see that it's all set up right, but yeah, just check your bell to make sure that you are down for those notifications. Yeah, Jackie, the obsession. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So we're going to be talking about breakfast ideas. We're also going to look on another live about lunch ideas, and again on another one, dinner ideas, and then we're also going to look at snack ideas because I've had a few requests for asking for me to look at those, and then we're also going to delve deeper into intermittent fasting. And I will just say, and I mentioned this yesterday, somebody asked the question, does Weight Watchers support intermittent fasting? And a whole community on Facebook said, no, they don't. And I said, they absolutely do. They just don't call it that. They do not call it intermittent fasting, but they absolutely 100% support it. And we're going to talk about that in another live. So, okay, so for today, we're going to be looking at breakfast ideas, breakfast ingredients, because the reason I'm talking about this is because when I rejoined my Weight Watchers, the Weight Watchers journey, when I decided to use the Weight Watchers tool 5 years ago to help me to get my health back, I was told, here's your points, here's your weeklies, nothing's off the menu. There you go. And my journey, I think, would have been different if I knew more about nutrition and I knew more about the foods that would really support me throughout the day, rather than the mindset of, oh, I can eat a bacon sandwich, or I can eat, 3 bags of crisps, or, I can have, fish and chips, or, sausage sandwiches. Nothing wrong with those. Absolutely nothing wrong with those. But there was a stage, that's what I was eating. I was eating a load of crap. And if you've been with me before, I'm not being facetious when I say crap, when I call food crap, because crap stands for carbonated drinks, all the carbonation, the fizzy drinks, they're just stacked with sugar. The A stands for all the additives that are in foods. The additives, I can't even pronounce them. And in some foods, they've got more additives than real protein or real meat. Yeah. And then the R stands for all the refined sugars, all the refined carbs, all of that are in food. And the P stands for that processing, those processes that it goes through. So you take a potato, it goes through a process, it looks nothing like a potato. Yeah. And then so many things have been added, you don't even recognize it. So I was eating the crap, and I was losing weight. I'm not going to lie, I was losing weight, but I was hungry and I wasn't very satisfied, and I certainly wasn't nourishing my body, certainly wasn't doing that. So I'm going to take this opportunity just to talk through building a healthy, nutritious breakfast that can really support on the journey. And you can use these at any time, at any point. It doesn't have to be breakfast, or some people like myself refer to it as the first meal of the day. You could have this at any time of the day, but just for ease and for clarity, I'm going to refer to it as breakfast. So what I've learned, I'm going to share with you what I've learned rather than coming from any other perspective. As I said, I'm studying nutrition, but I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm none of those. So I'm not coming from that perspective. I'm coming from somebody who has lost 115 pounds to date. So before I understood the need for good quality foods and good quality nutrition and foods that were going to satisfy me, I would sit down and eat what I thought was a good quality breakfast. But as soon as I'd finished it, I was cupboard surfing. I was still hungry. I was peckish. And if I'd had to go out, I had to go to work or a doctor's appointment by 11, half 10, 11 o'clock, I was like, I could have eaten a horse. And this was a cycle for me. And then I would end up snacking on a couple of biscuits or a couple of packets of crisps. And then I'd go into my lunch. And again, that wasn't very satisfying. And sometimes I would even eat my lunch by about 10, 11 o'clock. I was so hungry. And then I would go out for my lunch and buy a sandwich, more crisps and a fizzy pop. And then mid-afternoon, I'd fallen asleep, or I was really tired because I had no energy. I just filled my body with crap. And then I'd have that afternoon snack, usually about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Usually it'd be like a chocolate bar or more crisps or something like that. And then I'd get home and I was too tired to cook. So I'd put something in the freezer, like a pizza or a ready meal, or chicken nuggets which were coated with some chips, something like that. And I don't know if that sounds familiar to anybody, but that was my life and my meals for years. And that's how I ended up putting on 10 stone. Yeah. And then when I joined Weight Watchers back in 2019, I was still in that pattern, still in that cycle, and was finding it difficult to shift weight. And I was losing and doing that whole yo-yo thing until 2022, August 2022, when everything just came together and I realized, actually, I need to nourish and fill my body with good quality food. So that's why we're starting off with breakfast, or that first meal of the day, to really get us going. So breakfast, it's called breakfast because it's two words. It is about breaking the fast. So we typically fast from whenever we've had our last meal right through to typically the morning or mid-morning. So that first meal is to break the fast. Okay, hence the word breakfast. And what I discovered was it's really, really important to think about what we break our fast with. Because what I discovered for me was that if I broke my fast with refined carbohydrates, i.e. cereals, that, like Mr. Kellogg's said, we need to all eat. And I wonder why he said that. I wonder why Mr. Kellogg's said we needed to eat cornflakes and Rice Krispies. Is it because it was fueling his multi-billion-dollar business? Yeah. Very little nutrition. And in fact, it is so nutritionally dense that they've had to fortify it with nutrients. And that's another point for you guys. Let me just have a sip of water. That was more like a good gulp. I was thirsty. Look at that. Have you ever wondered why we have so many foods on the market with the words enriched or fortified? And we often think, oh, I'll buy that because it's got the extra nutrients. It's been fortified. It must be healthy. It's got all these fortified vitamins, fortified minerals and nutrients and protein. And we think, oh, it's healthy. Let's just break that down for a minute. If something has been fortified or enriched, it means it was lacking. It means something was lacking in that product and it doesn't meet the food standards. And in order for it to meet food standards, it needs to be fortified or enriched with artificial products to bring it up to a standard. I'm just going to park that there for you. You decide what works for you. You decide. I'm not here to tell you what to have or what not to have. But yeah, there you go. Hi, Horatio. Thanks for joining me today. And you're absolutely right, Kaz. When we look at whole foods and whole grains, they don't need to be enriched. Have you ever seen a bag of oats that says enriched or fortified? Have you ever seen a pack of chickpeas or a pack of a chicken breast that says fortified or enriched? No, never. Those are whole foods. Nothing's been taken out, unlike Mr. Kellogg's cornflakes and breakfast cereals. For example, there's loads of foods that are fortified and enriched. Nothing's been taken out. Nothing's been stripped back. Nothing is a waste product. I'm going to park that one there for you to think about. Nothing is a waste product that needs to be enriched, fortified, and added with colorings to make it look edible or meet a food standard. It's so interesting, guys, when you start delving into food and you start looking at what we're eating. So yeah, foods that are enriched or fortified, just have a little think about that next time you see it, next time you go to buy it, next time you go to cook it or eat it. Just stop and think, why is it being fortified? Why does it need to be enriched? What's in this? But when you have foods, as Kaz says, whole foods, your chicken, your fish, and not the ones with like coating and batter on. I'm talking like it's a fish and you can see that it's a fish. The only thing missing was its head. Yeah. When you have whole foods like that, and when you've got a vegetable, when you've got a cabbage and it looks like a cabbage, or you've got a carrot and it looks like a carrot, whole foods don't need to be enriched. There is another side of the conversation to this, which is probably going to be another live. Well, I'll just mention it. So you can have whole foods that hasn't been enriched or had additives, but they may have been raised or grown in a way that can still affect our bodies, such as they've used pesticides and chemicals on them. Yeah. So a whole other conversation, yeah, to the foods that have enriched and fortified. What are they doing to us, guys? What is the world doing to us with our food? Seriously, what are they doing? But the positive is, even if you could just grow a little bit of your own food, even if it's just a little bit of herbs or a few potatoes or a few carrots, you know, that can just make that difference. But as I say, whole different conversation, which we need to look at another time. But today, we're looking at breakfast ideas, and we're going to look at those foods that can keep us satisfied and keep us full and nourish us and support our bodies as we're coming out of that fast, as we come out of that overnight fast, and we're having that first meal, whatever time of day that first meal is for you. So a couple of things that can really support us with breaking that fast. And do you know what? Everybody's different. So I'm not, and please don't think that I'm being prescriptive. I'm not doing that. You know, I'm just throwing some ideas out. But having fresh fruit, fresh berries can be a really great way to break that fast. If you're following the Weight Watchers plan, that can be 0 as well. If you're not following Weight Watchers, you know, you don't have to worry about points or anything like that. Or if you're counting calories, you know, obviously you're going to count them. But generally, fruits are a great way, not because they're like low in calories, but depending what fruits you have, they're going to be high in nutrients as well, especially those berries. You're having those berries, the strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries. They are so nutrient dense, really nutrient rich. And it's going to flood your body with all the essential nutrients, but also they're easy for lots of people, easy to digest as well. Yeah, they're soft on the stomach. Most people don't want to start their breakfast with a heavy meal. Not every day, certainly, but most people want to start it really light. So having those things like berries or fruits, even if you have things like apples or pears or an orange, for some people that might be a bit too citrusy, but or grapefruit. Who remembers back in the day, grapefruits was a thing? I remember grapefruits was a food of the 70s, but it was nutrient dense, but also it has lots of fiber in. And those foods, really, really good. Also prunes. I remember back in the days, you used to have like prunes with with your yogurt. Again, whole foods, especially if you can get whole foods, and they're good for the digestive system. Really, really good for the gut. So fruits is a great one to get going with our breakfast, but also things like dried fruit can be good. They might be a little high in sugar. So if like me, you're diabetic, you know, that can just skew the sugars a little bit. So yeah, just be a little careful with that. And also things like bananas as well, for that potassium and also that little bit of roughage, but also the fiber in there. Because, you know, if you eat some berries, that's nice. But if you eat a banana, that's filling. Yeah. So, you know, that can be a really, really great option. But also getting in things like your nuts and your seeds can be a really, really good way, again, of just boosting your body with those nutrients. So, you know, the cashew nuts, the sunflower seeds, pistachio nuts, the pumpkin seeds, hazelnuts, walnuts, almond nuts. If you check out, guys, check out the benefits, health benefits of almond nuts and walnuts. You'd be surprised. And it's the ones with the husk on. So not the blanched almonds. If you're going to start using them, try to go for the ones with the husk, the brown shell on them. They have more nutrient, because again, that husk is that whole food, that fiber. Really, really great sources for that, to break that fast. But also things like hemp seeds, chia seeds. You know, I love chia seeds. Chia seeds, brilliant. Sprinkle them over your fruits, put them in your porridge, which I'm going to come to in a minute. Put them in your yogurts. So many great uses of that chia seed. But if all else fails, make a chia seed pudding. Just get a tablespoon or two of chia seeds, put it in water, and just allow it to swell. And it becomes like a pudding that you can then sweeten with fruit or with sugar or honey, and you can eat it. Really, really brilliant way of getting that nutrient and the fiber in first thing in the morning. Also your flax seeds as well, those golden linseeds, flax seeds as well. Again, you're getting those fatty acids straight in. So foods like that, brilliant start to the day. Getting your protein in with things like your yogurt as well. Yogurt has got a fair bit of protein in, and maybe the yogurt with fruits and seeds is a great way as well. Can also be gentle on the stomach, not too much bulk. And also things like oats. If you do want a cereal, think about having things like oats. Oats are fantastic because it's a whole food and it's got fiber. It's very fiber dense, more than anything else. I did come across some research actually about organic oats and the cheaper oats, because I had a question, because you know me, guys, I'm a thinker. I take nothing at face value. I'm a thinker, and I was in the supermarket one day and I was buying some oats for a project I was working on. And I was like, why is it that I can buy this big 5 kg bag of oats for just over £1, or I can buy a tiny little box, 1 kg, for almost £4? I was like, surely oats is oats. What's the difference? So I went away and I did some research, and it was all about the process in which it's grown and treated. It's very interesting. And you know, people buy the foods based on what budget they have and how, you know, and how it fits into their lifestyle. I'm not here to make any assumptions or judgments, but the cheaper oats underwent a process whereby they were mass sprayed with chemicals. There was also a difference in the colour as well. There's also a difference in the colour. The oats that were more expensive, they were organic and they weren't sprayed. is entirely up to you, Kaz. As I said, I'm not here to tell you what to buy, what to do. Entirely up to you. Some people choose to buy the cheaper oats. That's their choice. Maybe it's about budget. But some people choose, you know what, I'm going for everything organic, because whilst it's more expensive, it's got less. I'm not saying it doesn't have chemicals in, but it has a lot less. But at £4 for a kilo, somebody might look at that and think, I can't afford that. You know, I've got a family of 10 to feed. So I'm going to go for a 5 kilo bag for like £1, you know. You know, find what works for you. Find what works for you. So, yeah, but oats, that aside, let's put that to one side. Oats is a fantastic food to eat, to get going in the morning. And there's so many different things you can make with oats, just so many. And there's things like, and if you've ever seen any of my what I eat in a day, you will know I love my overnight oats. Love those. And I'm going to make some up over the weekend, so that, because I haven't had them for about a week or so, and I don't have them every day, but I do like to have them. So I'm going to make some up. I've also got me fruit compote, and I've got me nectarines. I'm going to make a nectarine compote, and I'm going to have that with me overnight oats. And there's just so many different variations that you could do for overnight oats. So I mean, if you're following the Weight Watchers plan, just type in overnight oats. There's loads of recipes there. Also, places like the Good Food Guide do fabulous suggestions on overnight oats. Pinterest does some lovely ones as well. Or just type in overnight oats on in the internet on Google, and up will come loads. Or you can check and see how I do mine and create your own version of the overnight oats. But overnight oats is a fantastic way to get started, to have your first meal of the day. And what I love about it is, so if you've ever seen any of my what I eat in a day videos, and I have my overnight oats, my pot is about maybe about half full, maybe just over. And sometimes I can hardly eat the lot. It is so filling and so satisfying. And I build it with my fruits, my yogurt, my oats, and also my nuts and seeds as well. So what have we got? Oh, I'm sorry, Jackie. I don't want to spoil it for you, my lovely. You have your oats. You have your oats. You have them. I still have them. I still have them. You know, still have them. You know, but do you know what? Being aware can be good. Can be good. But you know, and I will be honest. You know, I still buy my cheap oats. You know, I still buy my cheap oats, knowing that they've undergone this process. I still buy them. You know, if I see them on offer, if I see the organic ones on offer, I will buy the organic ones. But if they're not on offer and I need them, I'll just get the cheap ones. You know, something's going to take me out anyway, so I just buy the cheap ones. But you know, so as I said, I'm not here to tell you what to have, what to buy, or what to use. Yeah, and you know, that is such a good point, Horatio. Healthy foods cost so much more than mass-produced food. Yeah, you're right, you spot. And I had this conversation with my daughter-in-law the other day, and you know, she's a working mum. She's got 2 kids, and each of those kids have their own challenges, as children do. And she was like, Angela, I know that I should be buying me bag of carrots and me Super Six from Aldi. That's going to cost me pennies, but I haven't got the time. I haven't got the time to come home and be peeling spuds, you know, and boiling up carrots and to be mashing and making these. I don't have the time. And I know I should. And I know it's going to be cheaper. I haven't got the time. So at this stage, she goes for convenience. And I get it. I get it. She's like, you know, I can buy a bag of veg for £2. That's going to last me all week. But the time it's going to take me to prep that, it becomes expensive. And I haven't got time, I haven't got energy. So I would rather just get a ready meal where it's already done, costs me £1, it's going to feed 4 of us, job done. I get it. I absolutely get it. And that's why I said, what is this society doing to us where healthy food is more expensive than the crap, which is, you know, what I'm going to say, carbonated, refined, additives and processed foods. It's cheaper than that. Yeah. So, you know, when we become aware, we make informed choices, and we make the choices based on our lifestyle, our budget, our finances. We make those choices, and nobody should be making you feel bad for any choices that you make. So, you know, but being informed can help. Yeah, indeed, Kaz. You'd think that with all the processes and the money that it takes, it would be cheaper to produce, but also all the food that people are buying, all the processed food that people are buying, you'd think it would be cheaper. But it's all about this. It's all about the moolah. It's all about the moolah, all about the money, all about the money. And it's like, you know, the cheaper it is, the more convenience it provides, the more we buy it, the more companies get rich, but the sicker we become. It's messed up. We live in a messed up society, and not just here in the UK. America are the leaders for that. America is the leaders. I saw some statistics the other day, and it said that in America, about 1/3 of the population is at a healthy weight. 1/3. 2/3 are unhealthy. And then in that same program, they said that here in the UK, it was a little bit more. God, what was it now? I can't remember the exact statistics, but it was a little bit more than Americans were healthier. Sorry. So 1/3 of Americans was at a healthy weight. And it was just a little more than that in the UK that was at a healthy weight. So in America and in the UK, the bulk of the population is not at a healthy weight. And I just thought that is so interesting. And again, this podcast, I tell you, I listen to so many podcasts, it's just untrue. You know, so many. Because of that, because they were looking at the correlation between health and obesity, and they were saying that, you know, when you look at what people consume, that's why the community, our culture, is the way we are. It was just so fascinating. It really, really was. And I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago the study. It was by the ultra processed people, and I did post the link in my Facebook group about the barge that went up the Amazon, and within 5 years the community became sick with diabetes and cancer and obesity. It's just so sad. It is so sad. And the only difference was the food that was now going up into these Amazon communities. That was the only difference. Our food has a massive part to play in our health. So yeah, Jackie says, as I say, we need to do what fits within our lifestyle and our budget and our meals. Exactly what's right for you and your families. Yeah, and and Jackie, you've chosen not to have light. Yeah, the light food. But if you dig too deep, you'll be. Yeah, I'm with you. Sometimes you're better off not knowing. Seriously, because sometimes we'd never eat if we knew what went into our food. Seriously. But you know what, Jackie? I thought about you yesterday. Because I had to go and buy a pack of Philadelphia Light for a project that I was doing at work. And the week previously, I bought myself, for my own use at home, Philadelphia, but the full fat version, the original. And I love that stuff. I love the original stuff. And when I tasted the Light, oh my days, what a difference there was in taste and in texture. But also when I looked at the packet, the ingredients as well. And I was stood in the supermarket reading the back of the packet, and you came to mind. And I thought, what I really wanted to do was to buy the full fat version, but because work was paying for it, I thought I really should follow the recipe and stick with, with the Light. But what a difference in the taste. What a difference. I so much preferred the taste, the texture, and also the less additives in the full fat. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting. But yeah, I thought about you, Jackie, when I was there buying that yesterday. So back to my list, because I'm looking at the time. So all of those whole foods are great to get to break that fast. The fruits, the berries, the bananas, the cranberries, the nuts and the seeds, the chia seeds, all of those things are fantastic to get us going in the morning. Other whole foods are eggs. Oh my days, I love eggs. What you can do with eggs, there's not a lot you can't do with eggs. Eggs are so good. They're protein rich. They've got healthy fats in. Yeah, indeed, Jackie. Yeah, not much difference. Yeah, full of protein, got some healthy fats in. They're really affordable. And again, you can go for the caged hens. That's even cheaper than the free range eggs. But either way, they are great. They're fantastic. And in fact, it was eggs that started me off having my eggs and realizing actually I'm much fuller than I expected. And when I started having the eggs, I realised I didn't need to have that afternoon snack, or sorry, the mid-morning snack. Didn't need that. So that for me was that first realisation of how having that protein just really satisfied me. So, and at that point, I was rushing out to work in the morning. So what I used to do was to boil my eggs the night before, keep them in the fridge, and just literally eat them on the way to work. And I hope the DVLA or the traffic cops aren't listening, but I used to eat them on the way to work. And I used to get to work, do my job, and then I used to be back home mid-morning. And I was still full at that point. They'd tied me over. So when I was starting on my journey, started incorporating those eggs, Oh, 3.4, yeah, 60 grams. Yeah, it's just about building that in. Yeah, I love that, Jackie. And so I started to look at more recipes for eggs. And again, if you're following the Weight Watchers plan, there's loads of egg recipes on the app. If you're not following Weight Watchers, because I know not everybody does, who follow me, places like the food BBC Good Food Guide website is fantastic. I love that website. There's so many great ideas on there. But also you could just type in egg ideas and or eggs for breakfast ideas, and up will pop loads and loads of suggestions. And there's always loads of blogs that will have egg ideas. But a few that come to my mind is, yeah, you can have things like the eggs on toast, scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, or poached eggs. Those are great on toast. And if you're going to go for bread, entirely up to you, but if I was going to go for bread, it would be whole meal, whole wheat, with seeds in. I'd go for something like that. But I have my, you all know what I eat. I have my Rivita and the seeded ones as well, which is processed, by the way. Let me just shout that, because I don't want anybody calling me a hypocrite. It is processed, but at least it's got some sunflower seeds in and pumpkin seeds in and all of that good stuff in there. So that's the basic with eggs. But you know, I sometimes do things like pancakes. So with Pancake Day coming up, you know, doing pancakes for like a brunch with fruits over that is delicious. If you want to add extra protein in, mash up, stir in some protein powder, or add in, serve it with some yogurt. That's going to give you that extra protein. And you can make crepes as well if you wanted that savoury pancake. You can do an omelette as well and pack that out with lots of veggies as well, tomatoes, onions, mushrooms, even add in some a bit of tuna, a bit of chicken, or some ham. A great start to the day. That's going to really be filling and satisfying. If you've seen any of my lives lately, my egg cups, my egg muffins, egg cups, absolutely love those. Oh my days. And what I love about those is you've got the portions, so you can just freeze them, take them out as you warm them through. You're going to have a lovely protein rich snack or a breakfast. Maybe even something like a frittata. A frittata is a great one to use up the eggs, and also get those veggies in first thing in the morning as well, top of the day. Brilliant way to have that. I love that, Jackie, that you're looking at, you're making your own sourdough. Yeah, I hear you. So these are some great ideas. Even if you're having like you know, a full English, and you've got your eggs in there, you know, that is going to help with that protein. Yeah, but I love me egg muffins. Absolutely love me egg muffins. And it's just also great if you've got any leftover ham or cheese or tuna or anything like that, leftovers, just mix it all up, create those muffins, job done. Love those, love those. And they're easy to take with you as well if you need to rush out in the mornings. Also, things like smoothies are great, and I tend to have smoothies more in the summer. I don't do it so much in the winter, but creating that smoothie bowl, or that poke bowl, and poke bowls are all the rage now at the moment. So you know, creating that smoothie with your fruits, with yogurt, and then layering that with more fresh fruit, with maybe some seeds and a bit of oats as well. That is really good. The only thing I'd say with that is when I have smoothies, I have to be really careful because it can spike my sugar levels. So if I'm going to have a smoothie, it is going to be after I've eaten something substantial. I wouldn't necessarily have a smoothie for breakfast or that first meal of the day, because my sugar level's going to go through the roof. But that's me. It might not for you. You might be absolutely fine with that. But yeah, that's a really, really great option as well to get your fruits in, if you want that fruity breakfast. Other things, we've mentioned the pancakes, crepes as well can be really, really good if you are after that savoury option. Even things like having, and you know me, I love my kefir now. I swap out, well, not entirely. I do have more of my kefir, but I also do have quark as well. The Lindor yogurt pots, I do really enjoy those. But also things like avocados, getting that avocado in top of the day, brilliant. You're going to get your magnesium, your omegas, all of that healthy, all the healthy fats that's going to power you and fuel you through the day. Brilliant. Absolutely love those. And sometimes I will just have that on like a slice of Rivita, or you might want that on toast, but also pop some protein with that. So eggs Benedict on my days is one of my favorite breakfasts ever. But sometimes I haven't done it for a long time. Actually, I should do it. I've got some avocados. Is get like a muffin. I would use like a muffin or a bagel. In fact, I could even do it with me Rivita, to be fair. And I'll layer it with avocado. So I've got all that essential fatty acids, the magnesium, all of the protein, all of that good stuff. Then top it with like maybe a layer of ham, some prosciutto, or some cooked ham, or even bacon, a slice of bacon, and then top it with a poached egg. Delicious. And then add in that hollandaise sauce on top. Absolutely scrummy, yummy, yummy. That can make such a filling and satisfying breakfast. In fact, last time I had that was when I was on my cruise, and I'd go to the restaurant for breakfast, that first meal of the day, and I would often have eggs Benedict. They didn't have the avocado on, but they did their standard eggs Benedict, and I would only need like 1.5. I couldn't ever eat 2, but 1.5. That was me done. And I often did that on a day where I was doing a tour, and I'd have that in the morning, and I'd go out for the tour, back by like lunchtime, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. That was it. Didn't need to eat again. It was so satisfying, so filling. So things like that are really, really great. If you like going for those vegan and veggie options, even things like tofu, tempeh, and corn can be great options for breakfast, like scrambled tofu, chopping that tofu up really, really fine, scrambling that, adding all of those flavor boosters, all of those herbs, to like a bit of paprika would be delicious in the morning on that. So yes, those are some ideas. And then even if you wanted more of a traditional breakfast, maybe it's things like your bacon and your eggs, your beans, and your sausages. Lots of protein in there, and you can always make that healthy. You can make that healthy option, so like poaching the egg, or scrambling the egg, or boiling the egg, so you're not frying that in fat. Grilling those sausages, grilling your bacon, and then adding in things like your mushrooms and tomatoes. You're going to get a really, really healthy option for a breakfast that can be really satisfying. So yeah, I hope that has given you a few ideas, guys, a few ideas. Remember, absolutely, I'm not here to tell you what to have, what to eat. We're just exploring a few ideas that can help us in the morning. And as I say, if you are following the Weight Watchers app plan, you could just type in either the words breakfast and up will come ideas, or you could search by ingredients, and you can just type in like eggs, or sausages, and up will come ideas. If you're not following Weight Watchers and you want some ideas, just type it into Google and type in breakfast ideas or breakfast recipes. The BBC Good Food Guide website is brilliant. Absolutely love that. And what I love about that is they break it down into like vegan, vegetarian, meat-free, fruit-based, you know, so it's a bit easier to search. So there you go, guys. There you go. I hope that has been an interesting and useful conversation for you. Give this video a like. Give us a thumbs up if this has been of interest or value to you. Yeah, I'd love to know. I'd love to, because you know what, guys, we've spent an hour and 20 minutes. Where did that time go? We spent an hour and 20 minutes together. Let me know if this has been a good use of your time. I'd love to know. Guys, thank you so much for being with me today. I really, really appreciate this. Thank you, Kaz. Thank you. And I really hope that you're enjoying these. I know some of you message me and tell me that you really, really enjoyed these sessions. I really appreciate that. Even if it helps one person, mission accomplished. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for being with me today. What I'd love for you to help me. Love for you to help me. If you missed any of this session, let it go on replay. Let it play again. Okay, that helps build my watch time. We're cracking the watch time, guys. We are almost at 2,200 hours. I'm so pleased. A massive thank you to you guys for helping me. A couple of months ago, I looked and I was just like, oh my God, I'm not going to hit my watch hours. I might as well just abandon this because, you know, all this hard work, I'm going to have to do another year to build up my watch hours. We're just 2,000, nearly 2,000. I think by the end of today, we'll have hit that 2,200 watch hours. So we're more than halfway there. More than halfway. So we're making fantastic progress. And that is down to you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really, really, really do appreciate you and your support. And the more you support me by watching these lives, it encourages me to keep making them. And hopefully you're getting value from them. So if you can replay it, and even if you just let it run to the end, even if you're not sitting, I don't expect you to sit and watch me, but you know, not unless you want to, guys, but I don't expect you to, especially the bits you joined me at, but just let it run, let it play in the background, and that way it builds my watch time. The other thing that I would really appreciate is if you could share this video and my channel with anybody in your community, on Facebook, on Instagram, people that you know, anybody in your communities. I know so many of you do, and I really appreciate that. And you will see my channel has grown. It's grown a lot, over 1,200. I remember when I was begging for subscribers so we could hit 1,000, and now we're over 1,200. So brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. So yeah, exciting things are on its way, but I can't say too much about it right now. Exciting things are on its way. Just keep posted, keep connected. And if you're not in my Facebook group, then feel free to join me at Time Out with Angela in brackets group. So guys, yeah, what are you doing this afternoon? I just realized it's raining. I could hear something like tickling outside and I didn't realize it was raining. So yeah, it's Yeah, not very nice. I've got nothing planned this weekend, but my cat isn't very well. So this morning I was just sat on the sofa stroking her and cuddling her. She's old. She's 18 years old. And so in cat years, she's 90, 92, 93. She's old. And she does act like an old person, bless her. And then that's Bobby. And then Benji, he's 6 months old. So he's a teenager, he's a boy. And he's full of energy and he keeps attacking Bobby. He wants to play, but he keeps jumping on and she's an old woman. It's kind of like a young, virulent boy trying to chase a 96-year-old woman. I have to separate them. So you're going for a walk, Horatio. Well, enjoy that walk. Whatever you guys are doing today, this evening, and this weekend, have a lovely, lovely, lovely time. I'm going to be on the sofa doing some planning away for all these exciting future things. But I'm going to be back tomorrow, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely Friday evening, and I will see you all very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.